So come with me to Friday morning at Badminton Strength. In the office, Friday mornings are always our programming sessions. So what we want to do is look back on what our players have been doing over the past week, just check in and see how they're getting on, and then make any adjustments going into the new week depending on what's come up. With their training and also kind of families, different circumstances are always kind of cropping up. So we spend a chunk of time every morning on a Friday working through this. Small spanner in the work this time because I'm off to Canada to coach at Prairie Badminton Club. For a week I'm running a summer camp, so I'm having to be super organised. And what we've actually done, and I'll show you later on, is we sent out a tournament calendar schedule basically to players for them to kind of map out what tournaments they're playing, whether it's an A, B or C priority, and that allows us to map that out across the season, but then also just work backwards and schedule in around the most important competitions so we make sure that they're coming in feeling fresh, they're feeling ready to compete and get the results they want basically. But yeah, let's dive into some work. So this is, I'll zoom in a little bit, this is one of our members who's filled out our 26-27 competition calendar, and this is just breaking down what have they've got coming up, what their goal and target is, and any kind of notes around about travel, club nights, etc. So we can kind of work around that. But then that maps out all the way through for them right until July. So it's pretty full on. Then they pick out two of their most important ones. And like I say, off the back of that, we'll map out what they have coming up. This player, we got them prepped for the Four Nations that is this weekend at the time of filming. A little bit of a priming session before they travelled. Then we've got more of a recovery week. Then we're into a little bit of pre-season testing. And then we'll kind of map out off the back of their competitions their physical plan throughout the year so they can peak for those two most important competitions. So we're on to our youngest member who is under 15, so played a lot of competitions throughout the season. So again, I'll zoom in a minute, but we're working out her first tournament is the 5th of September. We're currently 2 weeks into her plan where she's working on kind of some Olympic lift derivatives, a little bit of strength work, and a little bit of working through her range of motion and mobility as well. Obviously going through a bit of has just gone through a growth spurt. So these kind of things obviously can take that backward step. They can kind of stiffen up a little bit. Again, we don't want to hammer them with loads of stretching. We want to be working through loaded with some of these ranges of motion, especially through her hamstring. So let me zoom in and I can show you what's going on.
So this looks at Sophie's plan basically from now up until pretty much the end of the year. We've mapped out her most important tournaments in green. And then basically the first one, like I said, starts September. We basically just work back from that. So like I said, we're working on some strength work. But moving on from that, it gives us such a clear picture of what's coming up. So she's got a small gap, 4 weeks before the next important one. And then she has this great window to work on some accumulation going into her next most important tournament.
We are our number 3 or 4. Onto Joe's program. Joe's just been with us 18 weeks, and he's just gone through his second testing. The numbers and the increase actually quite incredible. He's gone from, well, let me check, and I'll come back to you on that one. But
so when Joe joined us, you can see from those numbers, 30 calf raises on the left, 29 on the right, and he's gone up to 41 and 37. Not only that, push-ups have gone from 12 to 26. But what does that actually mean? Increased calf capacity basically means he's going to be more explosive on the court, be able to cope with the demands of the game. Push-ups, he's going to be stronger, his shoulders are going to be more robust for his overheads as well.
But anyway, we're planning out his plan now off the back of his testing. He's sent through his tournaments. Joe is literally 100% adherence since joining. He's stress tested everything he's done because he's had busy times at work, he's had holidays, and he's even worked out on holidays. yeah, he's absolutely smashing it. We met Joe for the first time in Newcastle, which you can see in the next clip. Again, really tall guy, but we're working on kind of like that initial strength development. And now we're going into a little bit more competition prep coming up for the end of September.
And then this was a bit different. So I've started working with a tech guy who is helping us be more efficient with our clients. So it allows us to spend more time coaching and less time just chasing up for things like check-ins. If we can get check-ins done by players, then we can spend that time coaching them on the back end. So we had a really good meeting how to automate these things. Again, it's so far over my head, some of it, but we are making progress and starting to turn this out in the next couple of weeks.
And we're back. A little bit more programming going on to round out today, Friday. We've got 2 more programs to run through, and then that should be everyone on the all clear for planning ahead for their next tournaments coming up. So pretty good day at the office. I was just out on court for 1 hour. We had a member that joined us 2.5 months ago, roughly, just at the start of summer. I'd worked with them on court since probably around about when they were 12, now they're 18. But adding in this physical session, they messaged me after their last tournament at the weekend and they said that is the best they've ever played. So it's amazing what little changes in someone's program and by adding in that physical stuff makes a huge difference and can have a massive impact on your game and your development as well. Hey Chloe, hope you are all good. So just wanted to run you through kind of what we've programmed you and why.
And then last but not least, we record a video for our clients with the new tournament plan, plus with the training plan that we have designed off the back of it. For me, this is an important step that we've recently added in because, one, as a player, I wanted to know what was coming up, why it was happening, and we've had a lot of questions from our current members of, I'd really like a bit of an insight into why we're doing certain things, what does that look like? And it really just helps shape their coaching. One of the biggest things with coaching that I've found since starting Badminton Strength is it is a process. There's going to be those times where you feel ready to commit. There's going to be times where you maybe regress on certain things. But being able to have a clear path in front of you that is structured and you have the support and accountability from a team of coaches, that is such a massive difference to your development. Most people simply just try and go it alone, jump these days on AI, design a plan, but when life gets in the way, and for so many club and masters players, that is the reality. And the first thing to drop is usually that gym work. So that is why players join us, because yes, we have the knowledge. Yes, I've done it myself from playing professionally, but actually having that community, having that support from myself and the team of coaches is something that really just makes a difference on the player's development. So if you've been watching this and you've enjoyed this insight into how we work with players, drop me a DM. My Instagram is @Badminton Strength Coach. Comment the word training and just mention that you've watched this YouTube video. This is brand new for us as well. We're trying the world of YouTube, which is a scary thing because editing is very time consuming. But yeah, give us some love. If you enjoyed it, drop a comment below. If you want to find out more about how you can train like the Badminton Strength members, again, drop us a DM, comment training, and we'll get in touch.